Fossil balls are a billion years old and could be Earth's oldest known multicellular life. By Mindy Wisberger, senior writer. The spherical fossils came from sediments that were formerly at the bottom of a lake. Bicellum brachieri holotype specimen. Scientists have discovered a rare evolutionary missing link dating to the earliest chapter of life on Earth. Its microscopic ball-shaped fossil that bridges the gap between the very first living creatures, single-celled organisms, and more complex multicellular life. The spherical fossil contains two different types of cell: round, tightly packed cells with very thin cells wall at the center of the ball, and a surrounding outer layer of sausage-shaped cells with thicker walls, estimated to be a billion years old. This is the oldest known fossil of a multicellular organism, researchers reported in a new study. Life on Earth is widely accepted as having evolved from single-celled forms that emerged in the primordial oceans. However, this fossil was found in sediments from the bottom of what was once a lake in the northwest Scottish Highlands. The discovery offers a new perspective of the evolutionary pathways that shaped multicellular life, the scientists said in the study. The origins of a complex multicellularity and the origin of animals are considered two of the most important events in the history of life on Earth, said lead study author Charles Wellman, a professor in the Department of Animal and Plant Science at the University of Sheffield in the United Kingdom. Our discovery sheds new light of both of these, Sheffield said in a statement. Today, little evidence remains on Earth's earliest organisms. Microscopic fossils estimated to be 3.5 billion years old are credited with being the oldest fossil of life on Earth, though more experts have questioned whether chemical clues in the so-called fossils were truly biological in origin. Other types of fossils associated with ancient microbes are even older. Sediment ripples in Greenland dated to 3.7 billion years ago, and hematite tubes in Canada date between 3.77 billion and 4.29 billion years ago. Fossils of the oldest known algae, ancestors to all of Earth plants, are about 1 billion years ago, and the oldest signs of animal life. Chemical traces linked the ancient sponges are at least 635 million and possible as much as 660 billion years old. Life Science previously reported. The tiny fossilized cell clump, which the scientists named Bicellum brachieri, were exceptionally well preserved in 3D, located in modules of phosphate minerals that were like little black hands in a rock strata about 1 centimeter (0.4 inches) in thickness, said lead study author Paul Stroder, a research professor in the Department of Earth and Environmental Sciences at Boston College Weston Observatory. We take those and slice them with a diamond saw and make this section out of them, grinding the slices thin enough to light the to shine through, so that the 3D fossils could then be studied under a microscope. Schroeder told Life Science. The researchers found not just one B. brachiaria cell clump embedded in a phosphate, but multiple examples of spherical clumps that showed that the same dual cell structure and organization at different stages of development. This enabled the scientists to confirm that their find was once a living organism, Schroeder said. Bicellum means two-celled, and brachiaria honors the late paleontologist and studied co-author Martin Brazier. Prior to his death in 2014 in a car accident, Brazier was a professor of paleontology of the University of Oxford in UK, Schroeder said. Multicellular and mysterious. In the B. brachiaria fossil, which measures about 0.001 inches, 0.03 millimeters in diameter, the scientists saw something they had never seen before. Evidence from the fossil record marking the transition from a single-celled life to multicellular organisms. The two types of cells, B. brachiaria, different from each other not only in their type but in how and where they were organized in the organism bodies. That's something that doesn't exist in normal unicellular organisms. Schroeder told Life Science. That amount of structural complexity is something that we normally associate with complex multicellularity, such as in animals, he said. It unknows what type of multicellular lineage B. brachiaria represents, but its round cells like it ridges walls, so it probably wasn't a type of algae, according to the study. In fact, the shape and organization of its cells is more consistent with an Holozan origin, the author wrote. Holozoa is a group that includes multicellular animals and single-celled organisms that are animals' closest relatives. The Scottish Highlands site, formerly an ancient lake, where the scientists found B. brachiaria, represent another intriguing puzzle piece about the early evolution. Earth's oldest form of life are typically true to have emerged from the ocean because most ancient fossils were preserved in marine sediments. Schroeder explained. There aren't that many lake deposits of this antiquity, so there is a bias in the rock record toward a marine fossil record rather than the freshwater record, he added. B. brachiaria is therefore an important clue that ancient lake ecosystems could have been as important as the oceans for the early evolution of life. Oceans provide organisms with a relatively stable environment, while freshwater ecosystems are more prone to extreme changes in temperature and alkalinity. Such variations could have spurred evolution in freshwater lakes when more complex life on Earth was in its infancy, Schroeder says.